Mississippi cop was arrested by her colleagues for allegedly shoplifting sneakers while on duty and in uniform, and also getting taken into custody in her own squad car. Now fired Columbus officer Robin Connor, age 33, was busted on Wednesday at a Dick's Sporting Goods when an employee stopped her from walking out with a $140 pair of tennis shoes. The police chief stated this, quote, "We're putting her in jail. It's embarrassing to the department, but we're going to treat her like we would anyone else." Daughtry also stated that a store employee caught Connor trying to steal the shoes and detained her before calling 911. The officer was in uniform. Dispatchers called a supervisor at Connor's own precinct with Chief Daughtry and his assistant chief responding along with the officer's captain. Connor's colleagues then arrested her and brought her in to the County Adult Detention Center in her own patrol car. Connor was immediately placed on administrative leave, but the Columbus City Council voted unanimously Thursday to fire her after 2 years on the force. She is also charged with misdemeanor shoplifting for stealing goods worth less than $1,000 and was given a $862 surety bond. Quote, "We have a job to do, and we're held to a higher standard. And the community is just starting to trust us again. And to take this gut-rilling punch really hurts. That's why we fulfill our obligation, not only to the store, but to the community." It is unclear at this moment in time whether the fired officer has an attorney who could speak on her behalf. I just want to note that Lord Ratchet decided to do this on her own. Now, note, she has a very nice paying job, right? Comes with benefits. She's also, I think this counts for working for the city. If I'm incorrect, somebody can correct me in the comment section. I'm just putting that directly out there since she is, working for the city. But again, she has a very nice paying job. She has benefits. She's able to make overtime and yada, yada, yada. And she decided, no matter how much money that she was making, that I'm going to go to Dick's Sporting Goods and I'm going to shoplift. What? Why even become a cop? It's like, did you think that being a cop and shoplifting was going to make you immune to the crime? Did you really think that nobody was going to stop you or say anything because you have on a vest, you have on your utility belt with all of your weapons, you have on your badge, you have on your colors? Did you really think that that was going to make you immune from any crime that you decided to do? That's crazy. That's crazy. I realistically feel like they gave her a slap on the wrist because she's a woman at the end of the day. I feel like they should have just really threw the book directly at her to showcase an example, the same way that they deal with men. You guys, some men out here that stole a loaf of bread 30 years ago and they're still locked up in prison. Give her the book. Give the exact same treatment that you give to a lot of guys directly out here. Do not allow somebody to slide just because of what they were born as. Just because she's a woman does not mean that she deserves a slap on the wrist for stealing. What? Ooh, $860 something dollars. Ooh, that's shivering in my boots. That's really going to do something. That's really going to stop her from being a thief, from being a kleptomaniac. That's really going to stop her from doing that. Really? And then on top of that, it's not like they took away her pension. It's not like they stated that she can never be a cop. All she has to do is move. That's all she has to do. Probably retake some training, redo the oath or whatever it is, and just be like, hey, I'm never going to do this again. I learned my lesson. I apologize for it. Just allow me to work and I'll prove that's all she has to do. That's all she has to do. Or maybe she might have to do some sucking up to some higher ups, really, licking some boots and stuff like that. And she could become a cop yet again. Either which way, she will still have a job. Like I said, she's not really going to learn anything from this because all this is a slap on the wrist. Ooh, she suffered a little bit of embarrassment. Her name is out there for, a quick 5 minutes, and then everybody's going to forget about it. And she's going to go on about her life just like everybody else is going to go on about their life. But again, like I said before, this is why you cannot trust cops, because they feel that because they make the law, that they are the law and that they are above the law. And the only people that have to follow it is us. This clear cut shows it. This shows how invincible, right? And this is just on a smaller scale, but this shows how invincible a lot of cops really feel that they are.
A few moments later.
And I also want to list this, right? This is what happens when you allow or give people certain types of ammo. They will use that in order to basically, talk about the whole front, right? So you clearly see in the conversation, I'm rereading this from what I had, so there might be some comments there that's not actually there because they just posted. So one of the first ones said, "This is simple. Avoid hiring them to begin with, and you'll have less problems. This goes for just about any job, not just police work." Next person said, "First of all, who is them? Don't let be implied. Have the courage to say what or who you mean instead of hiding behind these innuendos. Second, police officers from all walks of life have committed all kinds of crimes throughout history, no matter where they come from." And this is 100% factual out of the whole comment section. This is the only person that was really actually speaking some type of logic and was able to see through the BS, right? Next person said, "Thieves, don't hire thieves and crooks," right? Wanted to hurry up and try to give somebody a quick coating of, "I'm going to cover you and shield you," right? Next person said, "LOL, you can drop the pearl clutching historics. You know as well as any of us that the JYP doesn't allow us to call them what they are, but yet we all know who he's talking about and why. Most of us feel the same way." So the reason that I'm pointing this out is because there's a narrative out there that a lot of people in America don't feel the same way about certain things. And this is when you have the anonymity online where people can actually come together and you have a post or an image of a person, and you'll see unanimously that all of the people pretty much in that website will unanimously vote like, yeah, we agree that these people, these types of individuals, whatnot or whatever, collectively are this way, that way, and all this. This happens all the time. But yet people want to try to spin this narrative in America as if you don't have these things taking place. If that, like, these people don't exist. They're online every single day. Now, some people will sit up there and say, like, "Oh, well, that's just because that's a few of them online. That doesn't account for everybody else that's, here and there." No, it does. Because the difference is, online, because of anonymity, because people can hide behind a cell phone, a tablet, or whatever it is that they have, they're going to freely speak and say whatever it is that they want to do because there's not going to be any negative, actions that are going to take place, right? They can't get canceled, right? But if, for face value, if you go out here in public and somebody decides to say this exact same thing, oh, guess what? You're going to be made responsible for your comment. People are going to have a lot of things to say. People are going to start to dissect a lot of these things. You're going to hear a mouthful of what people have to say about the negative comment that you decided to unleash in public, right? So again, that's the difference. So it's easy for some of these people out here to say that this doesn't exist in the world. You're right, because it's hidden, because people don't really want to showcase who it is that they actually are. Everybody wears a mask, and you can clearly see that when you go online. Next person said, "But the NYPD likes to reject people for truly expressing themselves. A diversity hire simply results in lower quality individuals getting the job. Sooner or later, their true selves come out." So again, we're going right back to what the first person stated when they said, "Don't hire them." Right? Another person underneath said, "Unfortunately, DEI censor here don't allow people to call them by a more descriptive, proper name. I say the sub set to get through." Another person said, "The post censors what should really be said." Another person on that said, "Thieves is them. Don't hire thieves," right? Trying to come back and cover what it is that was originally being stated because they want people to read in between the lines because they don't want their accounts to get blocked and banned like they've been getting blocked and banned because they wanted to use certain types of words, right? They said, "Young thieves grow into old thieves. This is most probable not a one and done thing." So again, this is just proof of what the society in America actually is. If they allow people the platforms to go online and say the things that they really want to sit up there and say, people will actually start to understand this. And a lot of these narratives that people want to spin is trying to say that America is all loving and all caring and not about race and not about that. Yeah, that'll start to fall flat pretty quick.